It is Friday, July 26, 2:38 p.m. I've made my final purchase, topping off my gas tank here. The challenge begins now. All right, folks, this is it. This is day one, the $0 to $2 million challenge. We are here at Canadian Tire, highly recommended by Reddit for car camping. Let's see. What a few things here. Blanket, $30. Pillow, $25. We got ourselves a pump up twin-sized air mattress. That was $38, not bad. And finally, a little cooler, keep stuff cool, $40. With tax, total is $148.92. So net worth is now down to negative $150. My first purchase on my new credit card. We do have a YouTube payment coming in tomorrow. I believe it's going to be around $141. So pretty close to even after that. So I'm not going to be doing too much more today. Gonna try and Google a place to sleep. I know Walmart parking lots are popular, so gonna try and find a decent one for that. That's about it for tonight. Find a little bit of food, get prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be big. We gotta find ourselves a phone plan, get us some food, find a job, text some people, try to find some accommodation, all that fun stuff. But that is for tomorrow. I will see you guys when I find somewhere to sleep tonight. We'll check in then. See you there. I've got some great news to share. It's still Friday, July 26th, about 9 p.m., and our YouTube payment came in. And it's way more than I expected. It's $481.77. I don't understand it. Look there. Estimated revenue, $140 something and change. So, went to the ATM, got my 480 out, and even better, Greg, who you may know as Greg Goes All In, is hosting a little micro stakes game at his place today. So, I don't know how big the game's gonna be, but buy-in for $100 sounds great. Got 4.8 bullets. Plus I'm gonna use his Wi-Fi to upload that last video. Maybe steal some water, take a shower, make some few long distance phone calls. You know, normal friend stuff. So let's head over there. Let's head to Greg's place and I'll see you all there. Welcome to the Hand Histories, folks. We are recording, this is day 5 over here, somewhere in Granville Island. Beautiful view outside, as I currently don't have an inside to stay in. Right now I'm on day 5, but this is a session from day 1. We played some 25-50 cent over at Greg's home game, and let's jump straight into the 7 deuce game is on. We bump up 7 deuce up to 150. Player Charlie left bumps it up to $8, folds back round, and not gonna lose a 7 deuce game. We put in the 4 bet. I don't want to go too big. He's got about $100 behind, so I make it 25, and we get a pretty quick fold. So picking up a little pot here to start off the day, as well as a $2 bounty. On to the next hand, we built up our stack from about 200 to 250, so things are going well. We have an on the gun raised to 150, middle position calls. I got a suited jack in the low jack. Way too loose, but we're going to play it. I make the call, and we end up going, what is this, 5 ways to the flop, which comes down Queen 8-3 rainbow. So we got bottom pair. Now the original raiser puts out an overbet of $10 into the pot. Folds to me, and I don't believe this. I think this man has got 7 deuce here. An overbet into 5 people on Queen 8-3 rainbow. I'm going to call him down. Let's see what happens. I make the call, and hijack and cutoff get out of the way. Turn comes down, the 8 of diamonds pair in the middle card. On the gun now bets up for $35. Another overbet. We are going nowhere. We make the call once again. The river is really bad. It's a 7 of hearts. Now my opponent checks it to me, and this still really feels like 7 deuce. You know, he picked him some showdown value, looking to take it down. Yeah, let's try and get him off 7 deuce. I put him all in using an overbet of my own, 300 big blinds into the middle, and my opponent just folds. So we're going to pick up yet another pot of this small stakes game. On to this next hand. Low jack is raised to $1.50. Hijack has now 3-bet to 5. Cutoff is called. We look down at 7 deuce in the small blind and put in the cold 4-bet up to $23. Big blind gets out the way. Low jack now calls. Hijack calls and cutoff calls. We're going 4 ways to this flop, which comes down 10, 7, 3 rainbow. The pot is almost $100 and we've got middle pair. So I'm going to put some money into the pot and hopefully take it down here. I put in 25. Low jack goes all in for 57. Hijack now folds and cutoff tanks for quite a while before moving all in for 157, and now it's back on us. Now, low jack, we're probably behind low jack, but we do have some outs. But now that cutoff is in there with an additional $100 of overlay, I kind of like calling here. You know, probably behind low jack, but cutoff, I don't think he's got a 10 here. He wouldn't tank that long with a 10, and I don't think he'd shove a 10. You know, he'd just kind of call and hope that I don't do anything crazy. Or if he's got 8, 9 or something. This feels like, it just doesn't feel like a 10. It feels like I'm most likely going to be good against cutoff. So I'm just going to go with it here. We got the overlay to protect us, so I call. We go 3 ways to the turn, all in. It comes down the ace of clubs, the river, the 6 of hearts. I roll it over, and we lose to cutoff's rivered 6-3 of spades. Brutal. We're now down $60 in the session, but we still got chips to play with. Oh, and low jack had, I think he had a 10. But on to the next hand. Okay, on to this next hand. It's been about 3 hours since I've had a big hand. I've actually had to rebuy, and I'm in for the full $480 at this point, and it's literally just been 3-4 hours of calling $5 or $10 pre-flop, missing the flop, or opening up a hand, getting 3 bets, calling, folding. It just literally, I think I've lost about $200-300 over the last few hours just not hitting anything. But we finally have a playable hand here. There's a hijack raise to $5. Stand-up game is on. That's a huge raise. Cutoff now goes all in for 32. We're definitely ahead of him, so we want to get in there. I make the call. Big blind folds, and now hijack moves all in. And at this point, I'm just so frustrated. I haven't had a, you know, everything's been going terribly. I've lost like $300-400. I'm in for $480 at this point. And it's just been, you know, $5 here, $10 here, nothing really much happening. So I just make a call. I don't really have a good reason for it. And we go to a flop, which comes down ace, queen, 10, turn, 5, river, 3. We're up against pocket queens. And that is it, guys. We lost our entire bankroll on day 1. All right, that went poorly. Bought in the game for 480, out for 0. We've lost everything. It's a little bit unfortunate because I don't have any money coming in until the next 30 days. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Not a whole lot could have done. I definitely punted a little bit in there, but very card dead. Best hand I had was queen 10 suited, and I don't think I won a hand at showdown. So obviously not gonna book a winning session because of that. But I am gonna go find somewhere to sleep now. It's about 1:15, so let's go find somewhere to sleep and I'll meet you there. All right, guys, here we are. Walmart parking lot. There were a few signs that say no overnight stays, but like 50 RVs here, so I think it's gonna be okay. Pillow, that's a blanket. Pillow. It's 2 a.m. Very tired. Gonna nosh some melatonin, knock out. I'm not gonna bother setting up my air mattress. Seems like too much work. We gotta be out of here by 8 a.m. It looks like people are saying online, so quick 5-6 hours sleep, and we'll figure out what to do tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. All right, guys. I ended up setting up the air mattress, but it doesn't inflate all the way because it doesn't fit in the back of the car. So I'll have to fix that tomorrow. If I can even get it to fit. I'm just too friggin' tall. It's hot in here, so open the windows. And the mosquitoes got in, so I closed the windows. So now it's just hot and filled with mosquitoes. It's 3:10. Can't sleep. Really tired though. So uncomfortable. Gambled away all my money on day 1. I'm starting to think this wasn't a good idea. Please, for the love of God, leave me a like. Alright guys, we're gonna have to figure out something tomorrow because this really sucks. I don't think I'm gonna last a week doing this. I don't even think I can do this another night. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna close my eyes, hope to fall asleep. We're up in 5 hours. I've got a big day tomorrow, so I will hopefully check in with you guys in the morning, unless somebody wakes me up. Good night. Good night. Good morning, folks. It is 6:24 a.m. Got maybe 2 hours of sleep, and I don't know what to do with myself. It's so early. Nothing's open. I guess I'm gonna drive back into town, pick up some groceries, probably get a gym membership at Anytime Fitness, get myself a shower and all that stuff, and then begin our day as stuff opens up. Other than that, I don't know. Let's go. I don't know when I'll see you guys next, but we'll see you when we see you. All right, I've gymmed, I've showered, I feel human again. This is great. Running on 2 hours of sleep, but nothing that coffee hopefully can't fix. Looking at the time, it's just after 9:30, so today it is Saturday, July 27th. Yep. Not going to go in to apply for jobs today, but I will reach out to people online, ask a few friends, and also see if anyone has a couch I can crash on. Did kind of want to slum it in my car for a bit more, but I don't know if I could do it. After that, we are going to go to the Ironwood Library, steal their Wi-Fi particles, and turn them into microstakes tournaments. Gonna fire, I think, $250 today, and then $250 tomorrow. Really don't have too much else to do with my time. We'll see how that goes. I don't think I'm gonna play anything bigger than like $22. So hopefully we'll get a final table. And if we do, you're gonna see that next clip. If not, I'll check back in with what I'm doing tonight. See you there. Hello. So we fired 8 bullets, cashed 1. So we lost about 45 USD. So the total's at the end of the video. Applied for a few jobs and may have found a temporary place to stay, but still in the works. It's only 3 p.m., but the library closes soon, so I didn't want to register some more tournaments, but my credit card allows cash advances. It's a 5% upfront charge, and then I think they bill your interest right away, so another 23% annually. So that would be like under $80 to withdraw 1,000. So I withdrew 1,000. Now we're at River Rock. We got 2 buy-ins of $500 for 1-3. Let's play much better than I did last night. Let's go. Here we are at River Rock playing some 1-3 after last night's disastrous session at Greg's game, losing $480 in a 25.50 game. Let's try not to repeat that. We got 2 buy-ins here. We bought in for the max $500. We have $1,000 of borrowed money that I've taken out from my credit card as a cash advance. So let's hope things go well. We get greeted by pocket aces on our second hand in. Under the gun has limped. We bump it up to $15 and we get 3 callers. So we're going 4 ways to the flop, which comes out pretty poor. Jack 8-3 all clubs. Big blind checks, under the gun checks. Gonna want to bet for a little bit of protection here. Doesn't have to be too big. I put in 15. Low jack folds, big blind calls, and under the gun calls. Hence the turn, it is the 7 of hearts. Opponents now check it to me. The board is getting way too connected to continue betting, especially against 2 players. So just want to check back and get to showdown. River, really bad. It's 5 of clubs. My opponents check to me. I see no sense in betting here. I check, and we lose against the 10-8 for the rivered flush. On to the next hand. Middle position has limped. We bump up the pocket 9s to $15. Folds around, my opponent makes the call. We go 3 ways to this flop, and it's good. It is 9-5-4 rainbow. That is top set. Opponent checks to me, gonna put in a small bet here. 15 will do. Button folds, and middle position makes a call. We're heading to the turn. It comes down the 8 of diamonds. 6-7 does get there, but I'm not too worried. It's only 1 hand. Middle position checks. We're gonna keep betting here. I don't want to go too big. This was more like a brick, like a queen or I guess a deuce, I'd probably start firing in overbets. But again, on this card, I think 2/3, 3/4 sounds good. So 55 into the middle. Opponent makes a pretty quick call again. Off the river, it is the 3 of spades. Doesn't change anything. I guess ace deuce got there, but it's a rainbow board. So, and now my opponent decides to lead out for $55 on this brick, which just makes no sense. We're definitely raising here. I want to go kind of big. It looks like this is a block bet. He just wants to get to showdown with maybe an 8, maybe some 8-7 or something. So let's try and get that value. We bump it up to 225, and yes, I am 100% folding if he jams. Okay, that is something that's going to happen. He's in the tank, and finally decides on just a call. That is good news. We are never beat here. I roll it over, and indeed, the pocket nines are good. We're scooping this $639 pot. Okay, on to this next hand. We have a suited connector. Position doesn't really matter in 1-3, so I bump it up to $10. We go very, very, very multi-way to the flop. This is 7 ways, and it comes down 9-8 for 2 clubs, 1 spade. Action checks to me, not going to barrel here with bottom pair against 6 other players. So I check it. Under the gun now checks, middle position checks, and now player puts in a small bet of only $30 into 70. Action folds around to me. This is the only person out of 7 players that's shown interest in this pot, which is insane for a 9-8-4 board, but it's a $30 bet. If this man had a hand, he would bet super huge on this board, right? He is betting to find out where he's at. He is not betting because he's got, 10 jack of clubs or ace-9 or pocket 8s. They would just bomb it because when they get a hand, they do not want to lose it. They do not want to be outdrawn. That is their biggest fear. So we're going to apply pressure right away. We bump it up to $90, attacking this weakness, getting him to fold a 9 or an 8. Action folds to him, and after a little bit of thought, my opponent just mucks. Guys, I missed 1-3. I forgot how ridiculously easy it was. It's just, everything is so face up. I love it. I love it. But scooping in another pot here. We got 2 limps. We look down the ace-10 off in the cutoff, bump it up to $20. We get a caller from the small blind as well as the hijack. 3 ways to this flop, and it comes down ace-10-5 with 2 clubs. That is top 2. Love to see it. Action checks to me. Always start with a small bet here of $20, and only the small blind makes a call. We go to the turn. It's not my favorite. It's the queen of hearts, so king jack does get there. But maybe it could improve him to queen 10. Maybe. But he checks to me again, and looking over at his stack, he's got about 520 behind. The pot's 106, so we're going to have to bet around 115% here on the turn and river to get it all in. So that is just what I do. 120 into the middle, and my opponent once again makes the call. This pot is building up here. We go into the river. Keep it clean. It is the 4 of spades. Beautiful, beautiful river. Unless he has deuce 3 of hearts or clubs, which would suck, but he's got it, he's got it. Checks to me. There's no thought here. We're moving all in for this remaining $400, and we get a very long tank, and I can feel it in my bones. He wants to call. He wants to call so bad, but he starts to say, I can't even beat a queen. And when you hear that, we just know we're not getting called, and eventually he does decide to muck. No 1K pot for us, unfortunately. This next hand, we look down at ace-jack suited in the cutoff, facing 2 limps. We bump it up to $20. We have 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to this flop of queen, 9, deuce with 2 spades and a club. Beautiful start. When action checks to me, I start with a small bet here, 25 into the middle. Only the under the gun player makes the call. Heads to the turn, it is the 6 of spades. We make our flush right away. That is beautiful. Under the gun checks, and my bet size here is always half pot, so 65 into the middle, and he makes the call again. We're going to the river, looking for a clean one. It's not really clean. It's a 9 of hearts pairing the board. Opponent now checks, and if this was a brick like a 3 of hearts, I would consider around like a 2x overbet. I think all in is a little bit too much. We're about 1K effective here on the river, so I think that's just a bit too greedy. But I would have gone around 520 if the board didn't pair, but now that it has, I think I'm just going to size down to pot here, and that's what I do. I put in $250, and my opponent snaps me off. We roll it over, and once again, we are scooping another huge pot. $763 this time. Let's go. All right, folks, this hand is probably the most disciplined hand I've ever played since I started the vlog. We've got a limp. We bump up the pocket kings to $15 before the player on my left. We're very deep with 500 big blinds plus effective. Makes a raise up to 55. Love to see it. So when it gets back to me, we put in the 4-bet. I meant to go 3x, but I can't do math, so I made it 155. And opponent doesn't think for too long and then makes the call. This is going to be a pretty tight range. He 3-bets to 55. I've never really seen him go too crazy with his 3-bets, making them like 7-6 suited or anything like that. So it's probably a pretty linear range here. So we go heads up to this flop. Comes down Jack 10 for 2 clubs, 1 spade. These boards, 4-bet out of position, I like 10% pots. I don't know, that's just what I do. 30 bucks, and we get a pretty quick call. Hence a turn, it is from bad to worse. It's the queen of hearts. Pocket queens, pocket jacks, pocket tens all beat us. Pocket kings were chopping, pocket aces still win. Ace king just got there. This is pretty bad. Gonna go with a check here, and my opponent puts in like a 40% bet here, 150. I think we got a call with our open ender here. Maybe he's got ace queen that just wants to check back river, you know, once in a while like an ace queen suited. So I don't think we can fold just yet, but alarm bells are already going off. I make the call, we head to the river, and it does not improve us. The 7 of diamonds. I check it over to my opponent, and after a little bit of thought, he announces $300, another very small bet relative to the size of the pot. And we're obviously never calling here. We're never good. He's not overvaluing ace queen, and there are no bluffs left on this board. He's either got queens or jacks or tens here. Sometimes ace king, and I want to just rip it in here. $1,265 into the middle. I almost snap shoved. I almost did it, but I told myself, just think for a second. Is this man going to fold queens or jacks here? And the answer was no. I don't think he is. And my brain was still like, dude, just shove it in. Just shove it in. You got blockers. It's going to be okay. Like, no. Behave. Queens and jacks are probably going to side call after a long tank. And there is a chance he has ace king here. So in the end, I just decide to make a very disciplined fold. I pat myself on the back for that one. I think he had queens this hand. And who knows if he would have called or folded, but I seriously doubt he's folding queens. So anyways, on to the next.
Alright guys, we are in for 500, out for 1402. According to my math, that is a win of $902, which I think puts us roughly back to $0 for the challenge, which is kind of crazy. I think my net worth is actually around $500 or so right now. Not bad. Day 2, we're up 500. Alright, things are looking good. Now we're heading back to Greg's game. It is 8 p.m. We're gonna go play Greg's. We need some redemption. We gotta win back our $480. So let's head over there. I'm actually not gonna vlog this session, but if there are any really big hands, I'll talk about them in the car tonight when I'm sleeping. See you there. All right, guys, back at the Walmart. Don't know if you can see it. It's over there. It's 3 a.m. My God, that's late. We played so much poker today. We began at 10 a.m. this morning at the library. Played there till I think 2:30. Got to the casino at 3. Played there for 5 hours. Then we went to Greg's game, and we just finished up now at 2:30. We left there, so it's like a 16-hour day of poker. We lost 45 USD playing tournaments. We won 900. Won 900 at River Rock, and then at Greg's game, I was in the game for $900. All my cash. My entire net worth, once again, on that goddamn table, playing 25 cent, 50 cent. Luckily, we only lost $100 this time. Wasn't running too good again. Card dead, missing stuff, but whatever. Who cares? I got to play poker with some pretty cool people, so I enjoyed it. Anyways, yeah, I'm getting to bed now. I think my net worth is roughly around $300 or $400, so not too bad for day 2. This is our first real full 24-hour day of the challenge, and we're already up $300. So I'm super stoked about that. Yeah, I'm so exhausted, guys. I'm just going to bed. I'm not sitting on the mattress today. I'm going to try to squish to the passenger seat. Anyways, see you folks tomorrow for some more poker.
Welcome back, folks. Day 3 here. It's currently 3:30 p.m. Went to the gym, went to the library to grind some tournaments, and we banked one. Yeah, we did. $10 685 field tournament. Banked it for first place. We took a little deal at the end. We're both around 20 bigs. I only had half an hour more before they kick us out of the library, so I didn't really want to risk it. Although I think I probably gave about $50 worth of EV there. Whatever. Let's just jump straight into the tournament, and then I'll see you back here. Let's go. All right, folks, we made a final table. The Sunday Turbo, $10. I think about 700 entries up top, 860 USD, which is over 1,000 Canadian, currently playing for $96. On to the first hand. This is our second hand dealt, and we pick up the king queen off on the button. Open up to 2.5 big blinds. I think I prefer 2.2, but whatever. Now Chopman puts in the 3-bet up to 8 big blinds. And I looked at his stats earlier, and he has 800 and something thousand in lifetime winnings on GG. So definitely going to have the widest 3-bet range out of everyone on this table. So I don't mind going for it here. I'm going to pile in all my chips on hand number 1. 4-bet bluff, all in. Here we go. And lucky for us, we get a snap fold. On to the next hand here, we are picking up the king 3 of spades under the gun. A little bit loose, but we do have a big stack. So I bump it up, and the big blind defends. Ace 10 6 flop, 2 clubs, 1 spade. I think this is a mandatory c-bet, so that is what I do. Off the turn, it's a 10 of hearts. It's not great. A lot of his ace X now is going to be very disinclined to fold, as there's going to be quite a few chop outs on the river. And if he's got a 10, he's never folding. So I'm just going to check this one back, and we see the jack of spades on the river. Overall decent card. He didn't lead out on the river, so let's try and get him to fold an ace, a 6, something like that. So I go for it. 6.8 big blinds into the middle, and after a very, very, very long tank, he makes the call with the ace deuce. That is unfortunate. We should not have been going against the big stack there, I don't think. Okay, picking up the 10 deuce off in the big blind. I think that this should just be a fold pre-flop. I was thinking that in game too, but I think it's close enough, so I decide to make the call. We flop 8-3 deuce. We got bottom pair. Go for a check call here against a small bet. We see the 5 of diamonds on the turn. He bets 1/3 again, and I don't hate calling again here with the intention of probably turning our bottom pair into a bluff on some runouts. So I go ahead and make the call. We see the 5 of clubs on the river. Check it over, hoping for a check back, but after a very long tank, he decides to put in 6.1 big blinds, a little bit less than half pot. I just don't see him bluffing for this size, so I think about jamming here, but I think I have better hands to do it with, so I just make the fold, unfortunately. On to the next hand, we're once again picking up the king-queen off here. There's an under-the-gun open, and I don't really like shoving here. I think folding is definitely appropriate, but I also don't mind calling here in position, so that is what I do this time. Heads up to his flops, queen, 5, deuce with 2 diamonds. Pretty good. We've got top pair here. If he's got aces, kings, ace, queen, he's going to double up through us. So we call this half pot bet here on the flop, not raising here. 3 of spades on the turn. He bets really small, 1/3 pot here. I think jamming is okay, but calling is okay as well. I don't think you can go wrong either way. This time I just decide to make the call, and we head to the river. It's the 8 of spades. He checks it over to us, and now with less than half pot, I think we got to go for some value here. Maybe he's got a hand like pocket jacks that we could try and get some value from, so I move all in, and we get a pretty quick fold from the ace, king of diamonds, so very happy with my decision not to re-raise pre-flop. On to the next hand. There's an under the gun open, 2.1 big blinds. We got pocket 10s, and with the 2 short stacks, I don't like getting it in here against a real launch from under the gun, so I just flat here, and this also invites a big blind in. We get a pretty good board of 8, 4 deuce, 2 diamonds, and a heart. If it's a little bit more connected, I could consider leading for 1/3 here, but I just check it over. And the original raiser puts in a C bet of half pot here into 2 players. That is a big, big bet. I am never raising here against that sizing, so I just call, and we see the 10 of clubs on the turn. That is beautiful. I check it over, and unfortunately we get a really quick check back. But the river is really nice. It's the ace of spades, so a lot of his range is going to be ace high that checks back the turn. So I'm going to check it over, go for the check raise all in. He's got a bet an ace here. It's just, it beats so much my range. It's going to put my hands like 8-7 suited, pocket nines, all those into a rough spot. So I check it over, and he snap checks back ace 9 of diamonds, which in my opinion is a really nitty check back, but works out for him this time. Here we are, 41 big blinds in second place in the tournament. That feels pretty good. Ace 4 offsuit on the button, bumping up to 2 big blinds. The big blind short, so we don't go any bigger. We go to a flop of ace 7-5 rainbow, and now our opponent decides to lead into us for 1/3 pot. This is insane. This sucks. This really sucks. I don't think we're good here too often, but I can't just let this go right away. So I make the call. We had to turn the ace of spades, so it doesn't change a whole lot. We now beat 7-5, but that's about it. Still losing to his ace 7, ace 5 offsuit, which kind of sucks, but it does reduce the combos. He once again fires a bet, 66% pot here. I'm not loving it, but we got to make the call again. Hence the river, it pairs the board with the 5. Really nice card. Anyways, he's only got 4 big blinds behind, so we move all in here. He folds. Interesting. I can't believe I even considered folding the ace 4 there. That's crazy. Okay, in this next hand, we have an open from balance 20 to 2.1 big blinds. He is the chip leader. We are 3rd in chips. We are facing a little bit of ICM pressure here, so I'm not going to 3-bet this hand. I just decided to call in position. We go heads up to the flop of 5-4 deuce rainbow. We flop the straight. He puts in a small bet, could raise, could call. This time I just call. We see the 5 of hearts on the turn. My opponent now checks it over to me, and we got to keep building this pot. I want to go around half pot here, and unfortunately my opponent just lets it go. On to this next hand, we have an open to 2.1 big blinds from Kumanj. Balance now puts in the call as well, and we got pocket 6s in the small blind with about 19 big blinds. We're 3rd in chips here, so I don't mind taking the risk here. We also have locked ourselves up 380 USD. That feels fantastic. There is still 860 up top to play for, so I'm going to go for the up top prize, and I move all in here. I get 2 folds, picking up a really nice pot there. All right, folks, it's around 4 p.m. now, and the library closes at 5 p.m. I don't know when they start kicking us out, but it's going to be soon. And we're still 3-handed, which is nerve-wracking, I'll say. I guess I can always go out to my car, but it's like 30 degrees out there. Anyways, we got pocket 4s this time. Button folds, I just decided to limp. I've only got 20 big blinds, so it seems appropriate. And we flop bottom set on ace 8 4 with 2 diamonds. Start off with small bet here, 1 big blind, and music to my ears. We get the raise to 3.4. Never 3-betting this flop, so I just go ahead and make the call. We go to the turn, it is a 3 of hearts. I check it over once again, and my opponent puts in a bet, but it's only 1/3 now. This feels like a ace 9 kind of hand that just wants to bet here and then check back the river. So I think this is our last chance to get chips into the middle. Do I really want to raise to like 7 big blinds here and have 8 behind the river? I don't think so. I think that looks too strong. If I had a flush draw, I would just ship it in here anyway. So that is what I do with my strongest hands, and I move all in. We get a really quick fold, so it looks like he was just getting a little bit out of line there. Which brings us to our final hand. We open up the king deuce off up to 2 big blinds, get a call from the big blind, and go to a flop of 7-3 deuce, 2 clubs, 1 spade. When it checks to me, I think this is a mandatory C bet. His range can be so wide that a deuce is definitely worthy of a value bet here. So 1.6 big blinds into the middle, and my opponent makes the call. We go to the turn, it's a queen of spades, and when he checks it over, it's getting way too thin to keep betting here, so I just decide to check it back and try to get to showdown. River is the 6 of spades. My opponent once again checks it over to me, and very happy to check this back, but I imagine if he had a bluff, he would be betting river, so I'm not feeling too thrilled about it, but still very happy to get to showdown with my deuce. Unfortunately, he's got a 10-6 of clubs. 8 big blinds isn't really a big pot, but when it's almost half your stack, it really is. So that is going to be the last hand we play. And now we have Kumaj going all in here against balance, ace queen versus jack 6 suited, and on the river, the 6 of spades to bring us heads up. I think we played maybe 1 or 2 hands of heads up, and I managed to take the chip lead, which means that we get a $768 payout, and we get first place in the Sunday Turbo $10. That is 965 Canadian dollars added to the bankroll. Oh, I am so excited to continue playing final tables. I'm really enjoying GG. So yeah, there it is. We booked a huge win there. I think across all the games, I profited around 695 USD. We cashed 3, obviously won 1. I think I fired about 10 or 12 tournaments, some pretty big ones in there. I think I accidentally fired a $32 one, which is a little bit big. So total for the net worth now, I think we're looking around 1,400 Canadian. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to withdraw a bunch of money from the GG website. By the way, really enjoy the GG UI. It's really easy to play on. Too many graphics though, too many emojis. It's a little bit slow. Yeah, we're going to withdraw money, pay down the credit card right away, and now we've got $1,400 in cash money, and we have no debt. Look at that. Day 3. Looking good. It's looking up, guys. So what do you do after you win $1,000? You make yourself a nice wrap in your car. Eat it in a parking lot. We're going to do that. Then we're heading over to River Rock today. Probably not going to film today as well. I've got enough poker content for this vlog. I might just cap it at today on day 3 for the first week's video. Probably will. Anyways, I'm going to get some food, eat at River Rock, and then meeting up with some friends for a much-deserved, nice sit-down dinner. Yeah, I will see you folks in the River Rock hand history reviews, but I'm not going to record today. Or I might. You guys will know in like 5 seconds, but I won't know for a few hours. That's how this works. See you guys then. All right, fellas, this is the final 1-3 session for this video. We're popping into River Rock for about 2 hours before I go out for dinner with a few friends. And we get pocket kings. Bump it on that to $10. We had a caller in the cutoff before the button puts in the squeeze. That's up to $25. Folds back around to me, and I thought he had like 120 behind, but apparently not. But anyways, I just don't think he's going to fold. So I'm just going to move all in. There's no size I can 4-bet to that makes sense, so all in it is. Cutoff folds, and after a little bit of thought, my opponent decides, I don't think you have it, and makes the call. Now, my opponent has king, queen of spades. So we're in amazing shape. So the flop comes down. Jack 6-4 with 2 spades. It's never easy, is it? The turn. The 10 of clubs. Oh boy. River is the 9 of clubs, and we are going to lose. All in pre-flop kings versus king, queen. Not running too great this vlog, but it's okay. Hopefully this 2-hour session doesn't cost me too much. We've got 2 limps, and we look down ace king off in the big blind, bump it up to 15, and both my opponents make the call. 3 ways to this flop. It comes down king, 10, 6, 1 hard, 2 spades. Pretty good, pretty good. Small blind checks it. Going to start with a small bet here. 15 into the middle position calls, and now small blind puts in a silly little raise up to $50. This feels kind of like king 5 of spades, something like that. I can't think of any other cards, any other hands that make sense to do this, so I know that I'm ahead. And I just want to keep them in there, continue blasting off, so I make the call, middle position calls as well. Hence the turn, it is the 3 of diamonds. Small blind now checks, unfortunately, but we're just going to keep barreling here. Hopefully Hopefully he can hero us with like king, I don't know, jack? I don't know. 120, middle position tanks forever, and then folds, and then small blind. Unfortunately also makes the fold. Oh well. This next hand, we got 2 limps before the player to my right bumps it up to $20. Very, very, very tight player, makes some pretty crazy folds, so I've been kind of bullying him a little bit, but we go ahead and 3-bet on his direct left to $65 with the jack 9 of diamonds. After a little bit of thought, he makes a call. Heads up, so his flop, it comes down king, 10, 8, 1 heart, 2 clubs. Checks to me, and board, it's going to be probably pretty neutral, but we do have an open ender. We're going to start barreling. 45, and my opponent makes a call. We go to the turn. It is the 7 of clubs, improving us to a straight, but the flush also does get there. My opponent now thinks for a little bit, and then leads out for 115. Normally I would just trap here because I just don't think he's got a flush, but I'm also a little bit worried about getting drawn out on, and you know, he could just hero us with ace king or something. I don't know. Straight's looking pretty vulnerable, so I'm just going to move all in here, and he tanks for a very, very, very long time before telling me he's got ace king with the ace of clubs. For sure we're getting paid. For sure. And after another minute of tanking, he picks up his cards and throws them in the muck. What is his line? Like check, call, flop, donk, turn with the ace of clubs, and then fold to a jam. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, but we're going to book a nice little $200 win here at the 1-3 at River Rock.
All right, guys, we finished up that very short River Rock session, headed down, got some hot pot. I spent $45 on a bowl of hot pot. I have no self-control. But River Rock, we won 205. Combine that with the 950 I think we won online. That's a $1,000 day. Now we're gonna head on over back to Greg's house again. These guys are degenerates. I love them. To play some more 25-50 cent. I will film this, and we gotta get revenge. I'm down over 1,000 big blinds over the last 2 sessions there, so let's try and book a win and keep our first 4-figure day on this vlog. See you guys there. All right, folks, finish up a Greg game back in the Walmart parking lot. It is 1:30 a.m. Gonna get an early night tonight, up at 7 or so to get out of here. Gonna do the same thing tomorrow. Win another tournament, win some cash at River Rock. I was supposed to find some living accommodations today, but unfortunately fell through, so I am back in the car, unfortunately. I did learn though the passenger seat is a lot comfier than anywhere back there. Air mattress is useless. And the esky. All my ice melted. My cheese. I only got to use 2 slices. It's all gone. I got waterlogged. Also lost $505 at Greg's. Running very, very, very poorly there. That's over $1,000 lost just at Greg's game. When I say Greg, I mean Greg goes all in. I'm pretty sure most of you guys clocked that, but anyways, for the day, I think we're up 600 or 700. It's not bad. A few more days of those. I think I might have a place Wednesday. It's currently Sunday night, or technically Monday morning. So what is that? Tonight, Monday night, Tuesday night, 3 more sleeps. I might get a bed. It's gonna be really nice. Yeah, all right. Good night, guys. I'm going to bed. Go away.
Okay, fellas, we are going to end the vlog there. That is 3 days of living very frugally and playing poker every day while sleeping in a car. It was rough. We played 3 sessions over at Greg's home game, 25 cent, 50 cent, and we lost all 3. 3 consecutive losses for a total loss of $986. Brutal. We played 2 sessions at River Rock for a total win of $1,107, so about even. And then we finally played 2 tournament sessions over the Ironwood Public Library. That was on GG, just played a bunch of tournaments, and we booked a very nice win of $901 Canadian, bringing the total poker profit for this episode to $1,022. We also received a YouTube payment for $482, so our total, call it earnings, winnings, whatever, for this video is $1,504 over the course of 3 days. Pretty sweet. And finally, I'm gonna display my total days spendings, everything day to day right here. I'm gonna do that at the end of every video, so you guys can keep up with just how much ridiculous money I spend on eating out, being lazy, and grabbing coffees. But while those are displaying, I'm just going to continue to talk about what my goals are for the next video. So with arguably the three toughest days of this challenge out of the way, I've got a little bit of a cushion of money now, and I think my next goal is just to get out of this car. I hate sleeping in it. It's terrible. I have nowhere to go to the washroom. Can't. It's just terrible. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's also a 45-minute drive during the day and 20 minutes at night to get there. So it's a lot of gas as well. But anyways, today is day 4. I'm sleeping in my car tonight, but then tomorrow and the night after, I do have a friend's couch to crash on. And then after that is Wednesday night, where I most likely will be able to sublet my friend's apartment. I think I'll be paying around $500 a week for that. So we need to not lose a buy-in before that happens, because I would love to spend at least a week in a bed with shelter, with place to cook, shower. It'll be very nice. It'll also be nice to grab some things out of my storage locker and enjoy stuff like tea, food, running water, you know, human stuff. Anyways, for this episode, we have $1,504 coming in to the net worth, and we have $378 going out. That's how much I spent, which doesn't sound so bad for 3 days, considering 150 of that was my sleeping equipment, and another 70 of that was a cash advance. So $80 spent in 3 days. I'll take it. That's sweet. The new net worth is now $1,126. That's over $375 a day for the first 3 days, which means if we continue this trend, we will easily break a 6-figure net worth in the first year. I think that's very ambitious, but I would love to see that. So let's continue this upward momentum in the future videos. I got to get out of here and edit this video. It's going to take me probably 10 plus hours for this one. So please leave a like. I would really, really, really appreciate that. And that's it for me, boys and gal. I will see you all in the next video.